I know what he said.
You heard it? You seen the video?
I know what he said. He said when he finally faced me, I beat him.
Oh, dang. So that's gonna happen?
Wow. Wow.
Not just acknowledge reality that Mike Tyson was an old, broken man.
Mayweather takes aim at Tyson's latest training footage, ridiculing the heavyweight legend for appearing drained and winded after his workout sessions. He questions whether Tyson possesses the endurance necessary for their upcoming clash, suggesting the former champion's conditioning has deteriorated significantly.
What? Oh, that's what it was. Check my suck. Okay. Woo! We fight. We stay here. Building with boss. I get it. I like that. I always want to try catching down here.
Training footage reveals Tyson engaged in grueling sparring sessions with his coach, gasping for air and showing clear signs of exhaustion. Despite his obvious fatigue, the aging fighter refuses to quit and continues grinding through his preparation with relentless determination.
Oh, yeah. That's in the match, huh? Yeah, see one? That's one. How we gonna do this?
Mayweather boldly declares his intention to deliver an electrifying performance, vowing to bring genuine action and thrills that will captivate audiences throughout the entire bout. He emphasizes his commitment to treating this encounter seriously, dismissing any notion of holding back as he actively hunts down Tyson in the ring.
I don't know. I just want to get the fans what they want to see, excitement, so.
Rogan emphasizes the striking physical disparity between the two fighters, noting that Tyson maintains a considerable size and power advantage over the smaller Mayweather. The commentator highlights how this substantial difference in build could play a crucial role in determining the fight's outcome.
Yeah,
he's
but
so much bigger than him.
he's not going to land a fist on Mayweather.
Right.
It's not after his last performance. You know, I think Tyson just needs
What do
to
you
give
think was going on with that, the last one? It looked a little bit like sparring.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was scripted.
Yeah.
I ain't never seen Tyson biting his gloves and, like, you could just, it was taking all that he could not to, like, hit him. It was just like, it's heartbreaking to see a icon go out like that.
Yeah.
The intense training footage showcases Tyson methodically working through heavyweight routines, demonstrating precise technique and unwavering concentration as he builds strength across his upper body and cardiovascular system through punishing gym workouts.
They said, Mike, don't fight. I give you money. Are you crazy?
Only 12. That's all we want. To the middle. 1, 2, 3.
A little slow on the way down.
4. There we go. 9. One more.
And slow.
10. No problem. Great set. Best set yet. Right around. Last one, Mike. Nice and strong. 35. Let's go. 1, 2. Here we go. 3, 4. Nice. 5. Yes, sir. 6, 7.
Strong.
8. Strong.
9.
I got this.
Let's go.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's go. 8, 9. One more.
10.
Up. Nice work, Mike. Yes, sir. Great work.
Questions swirl around the fighters' advanced ages, with Tyson approaching his 60th birthday while Mayweather sits at 48, leading many to wonder whether either man can deliver a truly competitive and entertaining spectacle for fans.
Again, I don't mind if either guy gets paid. Again, we talk about Mike and his past financial issues. I hope that that's not the same thing going on with him now, even though who knows how this man spends his money. He made a ton of money to fight Jake Paul, and good for him. His name value carried that fight, and it did a crazy number. I'm sure he'll make a crazy number here, but Floyd Mayweather is the one that seems like he needs the money more right now. Our guy, Andreas Hale, wrote a story that is kind of went somewhat viral. That's crazy, the laugh faces. Although Floyd Mayweather Jr. made hundreds of millions of dollars from his professional boxing career and topped the Forbes list as the highest paid athlete from 2012 to 2014. The boxer is said to have been shortchanged and filed a multi-million-dollar lawsuit against Showtime. The lawsuit filed Tuesday, and obtained by ESPN seeks to recover hundreds of millions of dollars, misappropriated funds, and damages resulting from a long-running and elaborate scheme of financial fraud, breaches in fiduciary duty, and conspiracy orchestrated by Floyd J. Mayweather's former manager and advisor,
Boxing analyst Paulie Malignaggi explains how Tyson's legendary status continues generating massive financial opportunities, as his reputation alone guarantees significant viewer interest and lucrative paydays regardless of his current fighting capabilities.
Worldwide. There's also the aspect of it where the new fan base is always curious about the old-time fighters, which is why Tyson always gets views even today, because people are always curious about the Mike Tyson mystique, the Mike Tyson effect. So people that weren't able to be alive and wake up the morning of a Mike Tyson fight to know what that feels like, want to feel that today. I promise you, it's nothing like it was in 1989 with Tyson, no matter what you guys want to feel. But regardless, I think people get curious about that. And I think this is going to be sort of the same thing. There's nothing that's going to match the Mayweather-Pacquiao era of that time where they were flying and people wanted to see that fight. This is not going to be that feeling on the morning of. But like the champ said, on the morning of, whether you like it or whether you don't like it, I think you're gonna end up, ordering that pay-per-view or watching on Netflix, whatever. This is on Netflix, so.
Wade Plemons delivers a harsh evaluation of the proposed exhibition, pointing to Tyson's compromised performance against Jake Paul as evidence of his declining abilities. He notes how Tyson's mobility issues were evident from his labored walk to the ring, compounded by ongoing hip problems and other physical limitations. Despite Tyson's remaining strength, Wade argues that Mayweather's superior speed, accuracy, and strategic brilliance will expose these weaknesses dramatically. He references Crawford's observations about Tyson's unusual glove-biting behavior, suggesting it represents the veteran's desperate attempts to restrain his diminished power even against inferior competition.
Mike Tyson Floyd Mayweather fight exhibition is even more sad because you've already seen the illusion of what Mike has left is already gone. We saw it. Versus Jake Paul, he was limping on his way to the ring. Probably got terrible hips, still strong as an ox, but how much can you really expect him to do anything versus Floyd? Couldn't really land on, he landed like 1 or 2 punches on Jake, but couldn't really do much with him. What's he going to try to do with Floyd Mayweather? Floyd's going to make him look silly in this exhibition, and it's going to look worse than what we saw with Jake because of, how small Floyd is. But Terence Crawford said something interesting there as well. He said, I've never seen Mike Tyson bite his gloves like that. And I think Terence Crawford is a pretty big historian of the sport. And I'm not saying he should know everything about it. I certainly don't. But Mike Tyson has indeed bit his gloves. And this is what Terence is talking about.
Wade predicts that facing Mayweather will magnify these physical shortcomings, turning the exhibition into a showcase of Tyson's current limitations rather than any remaining competitive fire. He cites social media clips and broadcast evidence from recent appearances as proof of these struggles, acknowledging that even legendary champions must eventually confront the reality of decline. Wade characterizes the upcoming encounter as entertainment rather than legitimate competition, expecting Mayweather's tactical superiority to highlight the stark contrast between former glory and present reality.
Glories and present capabilities.
And even the great Teddy Atlas has spoken about this with Tyson and his career.
Questions out there, my son told me, about the thumb biting, okay? Thumb biting, right? And we're not talking about the thumb biting with your nephews or with your children or, with that stuff. We're talking about Mike Tyson biting his thumb during the call. First of all, that's something that he did in his amateur days, he did in his pro days, and now, of course, he did it again. That's something that he has done. And he's, for people that follow Mike Tyson, his career, they've seen it before. People are saying, oh, and Tyson's smart, he's witty. He knows what to say. He knows the image. He knows the importance of having that image, how important. That's why he got all the money. It wasn't about what he had left at 58. It was what maybe he might have. And the image, the scary guy.
Father Time has clearly caught up with Tyson as his advancing years have taken a visible toll on his physique and conditioning. The once devastating heavyweight destroyer now shows the accumulated damage from decades of brutal training camps and savage battles inside the squared circle. His explosive power has diminished, his lightning reflexes have slowed, and his legendary stamina fades much quicker than before. Each combination requires greater exertion, while his recovery between exchanges grows increasingly labored. raising legitimate health concerns about an aging warrior facing younger or more active competition in demanding exhibition formats.
Now, they have a history of bad blood between the two. Well, more so on the part of Mike Tyson. He just simply does not like Floyd Mayweather. They went through some things. They used to be cool. They used to be friends. And Floyd Mayweather even fought on Mike Tyson's cards. But now they have a strained relationship, and now they're going to fight an exhibition bout. This was... I don't even know what to say about it.
Rogan and Crawford examine the financial pressures driving Mayweather's continued ring appearances, focusing on how his extravagant lifestyle demands constant income generation. They discuss how Floyd's public obsession with displaying wealth through million-dollar timepieces, exotic supercars, and lavish purchases rapidly drains even massive fight purses. Rogan recalls similar financial pressures faced by other champions like Iran Barkley, who struggled with saving money while surrounded by peers flaunting their material success and creating competitive spending environments.
You know, it's other ways for.
But what did he get?
People.
He got at least 20, right?
Yeah, but still, I think.
I think he needed
all
that money.
Yeah, but with all his connections and things like that, I think people could have put him in the right position to make some money.
If he's got people with him that are looking out for his best interest, but you know how it is. When there's a guy like that, that's a big name, usually everybody around him pretends they're looking out for their best interest, but there's always lawsuits later on. You find out someone was stealing money or not paying him what he deserved. There's always a bunch of shit involved.
Yeah.
You know, unfortunately, especially if you're not business-minded, which I don't know if Mike is, but most fighters aren't. Most fighters concentrate on fighting.
Mm-hmm.
To be business-minded, that's a giant distraction. You got to pay attention to all this other shit. On top of that, it's generally not how they think.
Right.
You know? I mean, look at Floyd. Like, Floyd spends money.
The conversation reveals how this need to maintain his flashy public image through expensive acquisitions forces Floyd back into high-profile competitions. Crawford and Rogan explain that these exhibitions serve as crucial income streams necessary to fund his lifestyle, as sponsorship deals alone cannot cover the astronomical costs of his luxury habits. They emphasize the practical financial reality behind Floyd's career decisions, noting how these strategic fights allow him to preserve his wealth, status, and cultural influence while continuing to indulge in the expensive trappings of celebrity life without financial compromise.
Limited amount of money. Money's just flowing. And even as much money as he's made in his career, which he's probably made as much, if not more money than any boxer ever. Like, there's all these lawsuits. Like, he hasn't been paying things, and he owes money on this and owes money on that. And it's like, and then he's got to come out of retirement.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough. I think it's just the lifestyle that Floyd lived.
Yes.
I think he can't fathom to just live a modest lifestyle. It's like he got to be lavish.
Right. He's got to have those videos where it shows you all the watches, where he opens the case up, you know.
All the money. He got to show that he got $1 million in his backpack. And, you know, he got the latest watch and the latest car, and look what I just bought.
And when you get into latest watches and latest cars, you get into that shit. Like, boy, that money goes quick.
Mayweather brings superior footwork, defensive mastery, and technical precision developed through years competing in lower weight divisions, creating an intriguing stylistic clash against Tyson's remaining power and intimidation factor. However, Tyson's physical limitations raise serious concerns beyond mere performance outcomes, as fans and experts question whether the health risks justify the entertainment value for an aging body struggling to meet the demands of professional-level competition.
They more compatible as far as size goes. Roy is still bigger than Floyd, but as far as that goes, he still fought that made his name at 54, 60, 68, and 75. Right? Now, he did go up to heavyweight, but they've been going back and forth. They've been jawing back and forth and going viral, going at each other. That would make more sense. I don't know where this came from and how this even came about, but we're going to get Floyd Mayweather in 2026 versus Iron Mike Tyson in an exhibition bout. Two legends, they're going to get their money. I guess Netflix is just looking to put out big money. I'm hearing that it's going to be on Netflix, right? It's going to be interesting to see how this unfolds and plays out. But this came out of nowhere. It's just bizarre. I want to know the weight class is going to be in.
previous exhibition matches demonstrated the massive earning potential of nostalgia-driven boxing events, with Tyson reportedly collecting approximately $20 million while his younger opponent earned nearly double that amount. These staggering purses prove that financial incentives far exceed competitive considerations, as audiences pay premium prices driven by memories and marketing hype rather than current athletic ability, transforming these encounters into lucrative entertainment spectacles rather than legitimate sporting contests.
In an exhibition effort, you might as well. I want to say this, though. If you guys thought Mike Tyson was pulling punches against Jake Paul and that wasn't real, well, he ain't gonna pull no punches against Floyd. Like, that dude has shown that he ate it. Remember his faint punch at Floyd?
Legend joining us tonight.
Floyd ain't moved, though.
Legend joining us tonight.
Balls of iron. If Iron Mike Tyson threw it, he got balls of iron.
Legend joining us tonight.
Malinaji explains how Netflix's streaming model fundamentally changes viewer engagement compared to traditional pay-per-view formats, allowing casual fans to watch out of simple curiosity without additional financial commitment beyond their existing subscriptions. He acknowledges that many late-career exhibitions resemble circus performances more than serious competition, though he accepts this reality provided championship titles remain uninvolved. He notes how fighters like Pacquiao maintain relevance despite facing lesser competition, suggesting that established reputations and public curiosity can sustain interest regardless of competitive legitimacy in modern boxing promotion.
Exhibition, Mayweather taking on Mike Tyson, and then
Supposed to be an exhibition.
Yeah. And then
Rocky IV.
Hey, I know it well. I remember the towel. That was traumatizing for me as a kid. But the other side of it, of course, Ruslan Provodnikov, Manny Pacquiao. You fought two of those guys, right? You fought Ruslan Provodnikov, you fought Manny Pacquiao. One of the things that doesn't go away is Ruslan Provodnikov can crack. You talked about how heavy-handed he was. Is there anything that could happen in April that could, if not derail, diminish this? And, provided nobody gets hurt, which we don't want to see. But this idea that, is there any way either guy could look so washed that we go, oh my God, this isn't worth watching? Could it diminish it at all?
Absolutely. I don't think that's going to happen. The reason is because Ruslan was the third choice for this. Juan Marquez was reached out to, Tim Bradley was reached out to, took for the exhibition with Pacquiao. Those two turned it down. Then they asked for...
Dan Rafael contrasts this exhibition with the record-breaking 2015 super fight that generated unprecedented pay-per-view revenue and viewer excitement. Unlike that historic encounter where fans eagerly paid premium prices for live access, this Netflix-streamed event prioritizes convenience and broad reach over maximum revenue generation, similar to the Jake Paul versus Tyson streaming approach that successfully captured wider audiences through accessible platform distribution.
Also probably in April, but in a different location. And it sets them up on the same time schedule where if they're going to do a rematch, September 19th at the Sphere in Las Vegas. The fact that Netflix is doing it is not surprising at all. That's always been what they've been talking about doing. I think both fighters and everybody involved understands that it's one thing when everybody wanted to see the fight in 2015, you put it on pay-per-view and it's going to be a blockbuster, which it was. They charged $100 for the pay-per-view, the biggest price ever for a pay-per-view. And it set every conceivable record that you could think of in terms of gate, boxing, pay-per-view buys, overall revenue, the sponsorships, the merchandise. You pick a metric and it broke the record. That would not be the case now, 11 years down the road, since they first fought in 2015. So they needed somebody to put up big money, and it really fits the profile of what Netflix is trying to do.
The promotional structure involves multiple organizations, including Manny Pacquiao Promotions, Mayweather Promotions, and CSI Fight Sports, combining their collective expertise and industry connections to ensure smooth event execution. CSI Fight Sports brings particular value through their experience managing Mayweather's previous ventures, focusing on operational efficiency over record-breaking financial returns. This collaborative approach reflects boxing's evolving promotional landscape, where streaming accessibility and audience reach can provide equal value to traditional pay-per-view revenue models.
They want to do big events, and whatever you want to say about it, maybe not for guys like me or you who are involved in doing boxing-related stuff on a daily basis, but for the regular person that's scrolling through Netflix to see what's on a weekend night. They're going to look and say, oh, Mayweather, Pacquiao, I know those guys. They're as famous as any boxers in the world. And if it doesn't cost me any extra money and I'm just paying my normal subscription, yeah, I'll check it out. And it's going to do big numbers. That's why Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson did the numbers it did. And that's why, we saw them be interested in a fight like Jake Paul against Anthony Joshua and the other events that they have done. Tyson Fury's comeback as they try to, build up more in the UK. And this is going to be the same situation. They put out a lot of money to do the fight, but not as much as what obviously they generated in 2015. And, it will be, it'll be a big event, but how much of a fight it will be, who the heck knows? But I mean, to answer the question, I'm not like looking forward to it.
That concludes today's coverage. So make sure to return for our next update with more developments in this developing story.